Hi, I'm Allison the Crocheter.
And I'm Vivian the Knitter, and you're listening to Keep Calm and Carry Yarn.
Hello, and welcome to episode 45 of Keep Calm and Carry Yarn. This is a knitting and crocheting podcast hosted by me and my mom, Vivian. I'm recording from my home here in Edinburgh.
And I'm recording from my home here in New Hampshire.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, everybody.
Will we just jump right into it?
Are you in a rush? Yes.
No, I don't know.
Sure. We have a BUZZFEED quiz. What was it called?
Which famous historical figure were you in a past life? No, that's what the URL thingy says.
It says everyone has a historical figure who matches their personality. Here's yours. What did you get?
So I got Napoleon Bonaparte. You're very determined, and when you set a goal for yourself, you'll do absolutely anything to achieve it, no matter what it takes, even if it eventually leads to your downfall. You have a lot in common with Napoleon, who ruled France, built a huge empire throughout Europe before ultimately being brought down in 1815.
Oh, that's funny, because I made Madeline take the quiz, and she got Napoleon as well. I got Frida Kahlo. You're creative, curious, confident, and uncompromising, much like Frida Kahlo, the iconic Mexican artist who used her work to explore questions of identity. Wow, that was a long sentence. No, identity, class, gender, race, and more. I wasn't even done yet. Much like Kahlo, you may not be fully appreciated in your own time, but eventually others will come to understand your brilliance and importance. So I'm not going to be appreciated now, but after I'm dead, I'll be appreciated.
I appreciate you. Our listeners appreciate you.
Okay. I'll take that.
That was a very educational, results.
Yeah. I wonder what some of the other results are. Maybe I should make your dad and Danny take it and see what they get. I'd be interested to see.
Let's see. Which pet peeve did you pick?
Oh, bad grammar.
I picked it as well. I feel like it's not like a super pet peeve of mine, but it's something that, especially written, I notice. And yeah, I don't know. It's not that it gets on my nerves. It's just that I see it and I'm like, I just feel superior in that moment.
What Netflix show did you pick?
I was trying to decide between Black Mirror and The Crown, but I picked The Crown.
I picked that too.
But then out of all the shows, I've watched The Crown, Dear White People, Stranger Things, Black Mirror, and Queer Eye. So that's a decent amount of them. I haven't seen One Day at a Time, Nailed It, BoJack Horseman, or Russian Doll.
I've only seen Stranger Things and the random episode of Black Mirror when you're home, and that's it. So not much of a choice for me. What about your favorite school subject?
I picked art, but probably when I was at school, my favorite. I don't know, would it have been math?
I think so. You really did like math.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
But in terms of now, it would be art.
Yeah. I picked art too.
What did you? Wait.
I picked art.
Yeah. What about the dessert?
Cheesecake.
There was some good-looking desserts. I picked the tart. The fruit.
Oh yeah, that looks good. And then what about the important day of the year?
I said Thanksgiving.
We had a lot of similar ones. I think I picked Thanksgiving too.
Yeah, but we had the dessert different and. Oh wait, is that it? Yeah, that was it. Okay, wait. Quick run through. How would your friends describe you?
Honest.
I said confident.
Okay.
So that's different.
That's
two different. And then the color. Oh, we could potentially pick the same color. I picked blue.
So did I.
And then the ink blot. I picked the bottom middle one. It's like the
gray one. The grayish butterfly.
Yeah, it's one of the gray ones that's a bit more solid.
I picked the blue and the green one.
So that's three different.
Okay. We're not the same person.
Frida.
Okie dokie, Napoleon.
See, now I feel bad that I just jumped right into things. How are you?
I'm fine.
I had to backtrack.
Backtrack. I did get a little bit of a cold after we recorded last time, so things have been steadily gotten back to normal after that, which is good. But other than that, I've just been busy with, family stuff, a little bit of travel. I went to Virginia and just normal everyday things. How are you doing?
Good. I just got back from a weekend away in Dorset.
Oh, how fancy.
Also family things. Sam's family things. It was our pre-Easter family get-together.
How was this planned or is this spur of the moment?
Oh, it's been planned for a couple of months, I think. Since his birthday, basically. But, yeah, so all the Lister kids, the 3 Lister kids were together with their various partners. Oh, a boyfriend, a fiance, and a wife.
Run the gamut of all the different kinds of the categories,
relationships, right? Yeah. But one of the highlights was definitely Sam's mom obviously knows that I love all sorts of animals, and so she took us to a farm to see some baby sheep because she knows the farmer, and so I got to attempt to bottle feed some sheep, some lambs, but they just weren't having it.
Really?
I didn't so they put the milk in the warm milk in a bottle, and they told us to just tip it down so it was dribbling, and I was just dribbling milk into its face because it just was looking at it and kind of moving its head around but not actually trying to latch on, and eventually picked up
the baby,
one of the lambs. They each picked up one of the lambs. I had a bottle and my sister-in-law had a bottle, and the sheep that I had was extra dumb. It was it was the boy, and just would not she had to stick her finger in its mouth, make it open its mouth, and then shove it in. And yeah, I don't know. But once it was in, it
was fine. Well, sheep are not known for their intelligence, right?
But those sheep were they were bigger than the ones that we saw, and definitely the moms were a bit wary of us.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of them kept trying to move their lambs into the furthest corner away from us, which because the sheep that we saw in Sky, the moms didn't give a crap.
I wonder if it's because they were in the pens. We couldn't really get to the babies.
And these ones were in pens as well, similar sort of setup. But someone said maybe it was because with the ones on Sky, if she was inviting people to come in, they might have been used to having people in all the time.
Sense. Yeah.
But yeah, then we also saw baby pigs, little piglets, and we walked into the shed and there were some smallish ones. We're like, oh, they're so cute. And then the farmer was like, no, there's smaller ones because those ones were 3 months old, and there were some that were 2 weeks old, and these were so little. And I got to hold one, and he actually was. She was pretty clean. I much would have rather have held that pig than the sheep, because the sheep get their poopy bottoms and poops all in their fur, their wool and stuff, whereas the pig was just all smooth and clean and fresh.
Nice. Yeah, those pictures that you posted, they looked really cute. But pigs are supposed to be really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I like the dumb animals.
Right. Yarny things. Whips? Do you have any whips?
The same whip.
Zwag.
I have my Zwag, but I'm halfway done with a sleeve. I mean, I have half of a sleeve. I have half a sleeve. Half of the first sleeve.
Half of the first. I was gonna say of the last sleeve, or
no.
So does that mean you have that half and then another sleeve and then you're done?
Yes, but it's taking a long time. I'm going on a trip. We're going on a trip, and I'm gonna bring it with me, not to work on while we're there, but to work on just on the airplane. Yeah. So I will bring it with me because I don't have that much luggage.
I need to figure out what I'm gonna bring.
And we're recording a little early because of this trip.
Yes, but probably sensibly early.
Yeah, so we'll be in sunny Florida when this post.
When this releases.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, my whip is nothing too exciting because it's something I've mentioned before, but I haven't talked about it in a while because I haven't worked on it in a while. But it's my Luteola by Rebecca Velasquez. And it's a shawl. Not a shawl, like a stole. It's a Quince & Co. pattern, but I'm using a Skein Queen yarn. And I kind of forgot how soft the yarn was. I picked it back and I was like, oh my god, yeah. Because it's alpaca, silk, and cashmere.
Nice.
So it's really, really soft. But it's just like a leaf motif.
Yeah, I really do like that. That pattern. That's beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous when you're done with it.
Yeah, I mean, I've not done a whole lot, but I've probably done when I put it down a while ago and picking it up now, it's probably grown at least twice as big, if not more. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repeats, and I need to do 25. So I still have a ways to go.
But that thing's really wide, so
yeah, it's pretty wide.
So each repeat takes a long time.
Yeah, and I've kind of gotten into the swing of things, and it slows me down a bit because I'm using 3 balls of yarn because it's hand-dyed, and then it's also a bit complicated. It's not like super complicated, but I've created my shorthand version so that I know what I'm doing, but I definitely mess up sometimes, and I have to go back and I'm not paying attention or whatever.
So when you're alternating the skeins when you're crocheting, how are you didn't even think about it. How do you do that?
What do you mean?
Do you have to? How do you alternate skeins? Because it's not like in knitting when you can.
I don't know how you do it for knitting, so.
I mean, you're not cutting the.
No, so I do 1 row in 1 yarn, in 1 skein, and then leave it, pick up a new one, and do another row, and leave it, and then do my 3rd skein, do the next row, and leave it, and at that point I can pick up the yarn I used for the 1st row. So I'm alternating 3 at the same time.
Yeah, but when you leave it, the yarn's all the way. It's like a couple rows below.
Yeah, so it's 2 rows below. So I bring it up, and so it's creating. They're really noticeable because I'm also working double crochets, so it's a pretty tall stitch. So it has to go up 2 rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a row of single crochets just all along the edge, just to hide it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as well because it's a pretty loose fabric, so I know that it's going to block. It's going to stretch a lot when it blocks. So I'm also being sure to leave, like when I bring the yarn up the sides, to like leave quite a lot loose, so that there's enough for it to stretch. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I guess that makes sense.
I don't know, like how, like if the 3 balls if they're any different and whatnot, but I guess I can't tell because even if there was a difference, I am alternating it, and it's
Were you not alternate? I mean, did you not alternate it in the beginning? Is that why you decided? I can't remember why you decided.
No, I was, but it was more just because I knew it was going to take me a long time to make, and it was expensive yarn, so I was like, wanted to give this project the best chance to be as perfect as possible, and not annoy myself at the end, because I could just imagine doing it and then noticing that there was a difference.
When you held the 3 skeins together, did they?
Yeah, I think they seemed
noticeably different.
Not noticeably, no. So, but I don't know. I'm just trying to make my life difficult, you know.
Yeah, as
you know how it goes.
Yep.
But you know, I do occasionally make mistakes, and like if I don't notice it and a couple too many rows have gone by, I just fudge it because I've gotten to the point that I'm like, no, I can't keep bringing things back for every little mistake.
Yeah, you have to do that. I mean, it's like a design element that you leave a mistake in.
Yeah, well, So, well, anyway, yeah. I was going to say something about my FO, but I can wait.
Is that the only whip you have?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much.
And what about FOs?
Well, so I was going to say, my first FO is the baby blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it was basically
You were done crocheting it
finished.
last time.
Yeah. So I managed to sew on, or crochet on the back bit. So I cut it and I just,
You hemmed it.
hemmed it, yeah. Didn't really know how to do the corners.
Oh. Well, you already
I
did
just
it.
fudged it. Yeah, just kind of shoved fabric in, cut a little bit off, and
yeah, that's fine.
So I hemmed it around with my very old sewing machine. That kind of freaks me out, but I think I only broke the thread twice because the tension was too tight. And then so then I went around. I bought some linen thread, and then along the edges, just sewed big stitches in. So they're maybe like a quarter of an inch long,
like a running stitch. Yes.
Sure. And then use that to crochet, crocheted through what I'd sewn in and into my fabric. And then I changed the color depending on which color stripe of the blanket I was on, so that it was invisible.
Nice.
So I kind of wanted to keep it. Not that I have any reason to be using a baby blanket, but it was nice.
Did you send it away already?
So we've sent it away, and I've already seen it in its house because over the weekend, when we went down, we flew out of Bristol, which is where Sam's friend lives. So we stopped by and saw the baby Ned, who is 2 weeks old. So we saw a little baby. And baby's very cute. Baby has lots of hair. And they were saying, the parents, that they've been showing everybody the blanket and just how ridiculous it is that somebody made that for them. And I think she has knitted before, and she was just saying that I can't believe how perfect it looks, and it's so neat, and everything's whatever. And in my head, I'm just thinking it's not perfect. I definitely managed to add in some stitches. Like there's, but which I didn't realize it did until the very end. I was like, I'll just count how many star stitches I've got in this row, and then the last row, I'm like, that's not the same.
It happens. It's gonna get drooled on, pooped on, and puked on. So it's fine.
Yeah, but so I'm really pleased with that.
You took lots of pictures of the finishing?
Yeah, I took some close-ups of. It'll be in the show notes or the YouTube video, whatever. And then the other finished object I have is for our Colorwork KCAL, which is my honeycomb cowl. Did I say those words right?
Yep.
So, it's done.
Nice.
I haven't even blocked it. I don't really think I need to.
So what are the two different colors you used?
So it's a dark gray, which actually is more variegated than I really realized. So there are bits that are quite a bit lighter, and that's from Ginger Twist. And then it's not speckled. Would you call that speckled? It's not speckled. It's something else.
Looks like it could be speckled.
I don't know, but it's mostly like a dark blue, but with a lot of
light colors in
mint.
it. Yeah.
Light colors like mint green, a lot of green, like a lighter green running through it, and then like lots of other little colors. So one side, which is technically when you're working on it, is the back side, is mostly gray, and then you can see the contrasting color picked up as like little V stitches.
Oh yeah, I see
and then
that.
the other side is mostly the contrast color, and the gray kind of, you can see the V's as well, but it kind of gets lost in it because it's
so it's kind of like
so much
reversible
color.
if you want the
So it's nice because it's long enough to wrap around twice. So depending on how I'm wearing it, it looks slightly different.
Nice.
But
You won't be wearing that anytime soon, will you?
I have been wearing it. It's
Really?
been cold.
What was the weight of the yarn? Is it fingering weight?
It's fingering weight, yeah.
It looks really thick. and fluffy the way
Yeah,
you're holding it.
I mean, it definitely feels thicker than because you're essentially making a
Double-sided.
like it's nearly like double
Mm-hmm.
thickness because of the way you do it. Because you're working into the row from below, like
The previous row.
yeah, sometimes. So yeah, so I am happy with that. And it's much better than my first attempt with the other yarn. It was like more rustic yarn.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're gonna have that around your neck. You don't want anything.
Yeah,
too...
so this one's better.
Yes. Anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it.
I have 2 FOs as well.
Mm-hmm.
I finished the first hat shortly after we got home from the festival.
Mm-hmm.
It is the Snowheed
Mm-hmm.
by Kate Davies.
Nice.
And it's color worked. So this is for our Colorwork KCAL, and it's just a dark blue and a white. The white is the same yarn I use for my mittens. It's that Angora.
Mittens?
Yeah, the Angora stuff. And the blue is just leftover Madeline Tosh that I had laying around. So I really like how there is the snowflake on the crown. So I don't think I'll do a pom-pom. And the pattern has a pom-pom.
Oh, yeah. If you did, well, yeah, it would hide too much of it. Or like a smallish pom-pom, or would that look dumb?
I don't know. I'm just going to leave it.
Yep.
It might be for one of the nieces for Christmas. Or maybe I'll wear it a couple times and then give it to somebody. It's really soft. My other FO is also a hat. I started and finished my roadside beanie.
Gosh.
By Oliver Henry and Sandra Manson. This was the Shetland Wool Week hat that we were talking about last week. Last time that I picked up the pattern that I picked up. I mean,
Yep. Very nice.
I'm super excited about this.
So what's the colors in it?
There is like a heathered gray, a brown, a turquoise, a yellow, a white, and a purple. And
Seems very random.
It does, but the brown and the purple in the dark, they look the same. So I was working on it in the semi-dark. Well, it was nighttime, and I just had one lamp on, the bedside lamp, and we were watching TV, and the ships, they're supposed to be brown. Where's the camera? I made them purple.
Nice.
And then I didn't realize that until after I was done with that part and I was doing the crown, and I picked up the brown. I'm like, I don't remember picking up the brown for anything. There's a little bit of brown in here in the
bottom.
The bottom.
Ribbing.
Yeah, in the ribbing.
So is that it? You have it in the ribbing and then at the crown?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
But I mean, it looks practically the same color. They're so.
And then where else is there purple then, other than the ribbing and the crown?
The ground where the sheep are standing on is purple.
I feel like the sheep kind of just look like blobs.
They look kind of like bunnies. Don't they?
I feel like, they just look like
They
blobs
do
to
look
me.
kind of like blobs. But that's okay.
So how long did it take you to finish that hat?
I actually put it on Ravelry. Let's see. It took
Because
it took me a
you were
week.
only at.
Took me a week.
Oh my god! I was gonna say you're only at that yarn festival like a month ago. So
It took me a week. I started on the 2nd. I finished on the 9th.
so you did what? 3 projects for the Colorwork KCAL essentially,
Yep.
and I did 1. But the KCAL finishes on the 26th, which will just be like a week or so after we release this episode. So we'll have winners for the next episode. Yeah.
Yes. And maybe I'll start and finish something else before that.
Oh my god. Yeah. If you could do a hat in a week.
Yeah, I could if I wanted to, but I have to work on my Zweig. Now that, I'm done with the Colorwork stuff, my Zweig is my first priority. And in fact, I'm like dragging it everywhere. We went to your grandparents, and I just dragged it with me, and I worked in the car. And where else was I it's like as much, even if I do one row or one round, that's better than nothing. So yeah, I am getting a little tired of it. I need to finish it so I can start something new.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Right. Did you have any other projects to talk about?
No, I don't. I finished 2 hats. That's pretty good.
It is pretty good. I mean, I'm going to have a lot more time to work on my crochet because this week is my last week of my current job.
Woohoo.
So, thanks for sounding so thrilled for me.
When do you start your new job?
We'll see.
You don't know yet. Okay. Well, you and I and Madeline are meeting your other sister, Emily, in Florida, in Orlando.
Yes.
And we're bringing along your cousin, Jessie.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because it is Madeline's spring break, and it's also Jessie's spring break. Jessie lives in New Jersey, and those two are the same age. They're only 2 months apart, and they've been best buds for a long time. They've never had the same spring break.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the schools that we've been to, it's always
Out of sync.
it's always out of sync. It's always one has a spring break, and then the other one has spring break the following week, and then so they just overlap by one weekend. So we've never ever been able to do anything. And this year, when I found out that they had the same spring break, we should totally go somewhere, and we decided to go to Florida and to go to Disney World. So everybody's so excited. And of course, then you quit your job and you've decided to come and join us as well. And it's going to be just a girls' week, basically, at Disney. And we're just like super excited.
I mean, yeah, we love Disney.
Yeah, we're a little bit.
The last time we went to Disney was, or by we, I mean
the whole
me,
family.
Because you went to Disney last year? Or the year before?
3 years ago. 3 years ago. 3 years.
That was 3 years ago?
Or 2 years ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Anyway, but we went as a family the year that the two of us went to LeakyCon, which is a Harry Potter conference in Orlando. The year that the last movie came out, the second part, Deathly Hallows Part 2. And I remember we were in the car. I don't know where we were going, but we're all in the van together, the whole family, and Daddy said, I don't know, that's when he decided to announce that, you know what, we're all going to go to Disney World. And I legit started crying with, happy tears. Not bawling, but I was just so happy. I couldn't help myself.
It's like I'm going to LeakyCon and Disney.
Yeah, basically. But is it going to be mega, mega crazy?
Yeah, because it's going to be
break?
Yeah, it's going to be Easter weekend too. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, God.
And you're going to be jet lagged.
We're going to have a strategy. Oh my God, I'm going to be so jet lagged. Think about that.
We were saying that we're going to have to rent Alice in a wheelchair because she's going to be so jet lagged and she's not going to want to go back to the hotel.
Oh man.
Yeah, it'll be crazy.
Yeah, that's okay. We are all Disney World, not experts, but experienced Disney World goers.
Yes,
we know how to strategize our visit.
So, I think from what I hear, they're doing the fast pass stuff differently. Yeah, it's like you can reserve it days ahead of time or something. I don't have any look into it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You got to look into this. This is less than a week away.
I'm just there to have fun and spend the time with my daughters. I'm just so happy.
I'm gonna die. It's gonna be so hot.
It's gonna be in the mid 80s.
So hot.
Yes.
It's
gonna be a lot of fun.
I woke up one day and it was freezing.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes. I can't wait.
Yep. So, do you have anything for Mommypedia?
Yes, but next time, because I forgot what it was.
Nice. I do have something for Yarny Bits and Bobs.
Yeah?
So your dad has been working in Virginia, and so I was in Virginia with him last week, and I visited a yarn store down there in the Richmond area. It's just south of Richmond in Midlothian, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And
I live in Midlothian, Scotland.
yeah,
No, for real.
Yeah, So, the name of the store is so funny. It's Dances with Wool, and I met the owner, Debbie. I think I got that right. Debbie. And we were just chatting for a long time, and we were talking about UIF because she went last year. She wants to go next year. And we were talking about that for a long time. And then your dad started talking about other, our podcast. I'm like, you don't have to tell her that now. But anyway, so we were just chatting. And she was wearing a beautiful sweater. And I was looking at her sweater. I was like, I know that sweater. But then we were talking about other things, and I forgot to ask her what the pattern was, because she was saying that it literally was off the needles like 2 seconds ago. Maybe not 2 seconds ago. I mean, it looked like it was blocked, but it was so hot that day. It was 70 degrees, and she was wearing this worsted weight sweater. But later on, I had posted on Instagram, and one of our followers replied that it was The Humorless by Isabel Kramer. I was like, oh, I should have known that. Like, half the sweaters I knit are Isabel Kramer sweaters. But then I looked again at the pattern. It's like, oh, it's worsted weight. That's why I don't really know about it. Because, like, whenever
it is not in your niche.
It is not fingering weight. Because it's too hot for me to wear worsted weight. Even here in New England, there's no way I would wear it in Virginia. Yeah, that was fun. She has a beautiful store, but I didn't really need to buy any yarn because I had literally been in the EYF the week beforehand. And so she had the cutest little those enamel buttons, and I bought one with, it was a woman's head with yarn in her hair. Mm-hmm. The balls of yarn is her hair. So that's the only thing I bought because it was cute. But yeah, she has some nice yarns.
Someone at work actually commented because they saw your post about the Dances with Wool store, and she was just like, oh my god, I love that name.
Have you ever seen that movie, Dances with Wolves?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay. Are we done?
I think so. I don't have anything else.
Yeah, because we are recording earlier than normal.
I mean, even if we weren't recording earlier than normal, I wouldn't have had any other projects to talk about or anything. Although I do have something that I'm scribbling away at that I want to try to make with some of my EYF yarn.
Are you designing something?
Yes.
Ooh.
And would have counted as color work if I'd started it way before now, but yeah.
You still have 11 days.
Yeah, but most of those days I'll be in Florida.
That's true.
Most of those days I'll be in Florida. My last week before I actually go, I feel like is really busy. Not just because it's my last week of work, but just having to plan things. And I've got today recording with you. Tomorrow, I've got a planning meeting for the guides. Wednesday, going out with a friend to Dynamic Earth, which is a museum by the palace. You know that weird like white dome thingy with like things coming out of it. Yeah, it's like a science sort of museum about like geology and the environment and different environments and stuff. Mm-hmm. But they've got like one of those dome theater things, like 360.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
As part of the science festival, they're doing a show there called Planets 360 or something like that. And so it's going to be about the planets, and I think it's all set to that. There's some orchestral music that is to do with planets. So it's all set to that. So I'm going to that with a friend. And then Thursday's my leaving drinks, and then Friday I have to pack because Saturday morning's my flight. So
then you'll be in Orlando Saturday night.
Yeah, pooped. Absolutely pooped. Emily said, oh, Mommy said that I should get some breakfast stuff and stuff for sandwiches, but I thought we could do that after you get here. And I was just like, okay, but I'm not going to be any help. Like, I'll have been up since 5 in the morning or something. Yeah, 5 in the morning. And by 6 p.m., which is when my flight is supposed to land, so who knows by the time I get out of customs and or passport control, 6 p.m. is like, what?
11 o'clock.
Yeah. So, I pooped.
Yep.
Anyway, so
I'm probably going to...
the next time we record will be after all that, which we probably won't have anything actually to say because neither of us will have really worked on anything.
But we have a lot to talk about in regards to, with Disney.
Yeah, it will be a special, not knitting, not crocheting, just Disney World podcast.
Maybe I'll have my Zweig done by then. Yeah. I have 3 hours on the airplane going from Boston to Orlando that I can work on it.
And then back.
And then back. We're doing 2 flights back. So I have...
and then some driving.
Oh, that's right, because we're also driving to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So...
oh, what a hard life we have.
Yep, so hard.
Okay. Will we say goodbye then?
Yes. Oh, no. I have shop talk. I have shop talk.
Oh, sorry. Shop talk. My mom's Etsy shop for any new listeners or very forgetful listeners. Etsy shop selling project bags, and it's called Pearl and Plum.
Yep. Before we left for EYF, I had ordered some sheepy fabric, 3 different kinds. And so I'm finally making them into bags. And the favorite one I have so far, this one, it is... well, it's not, this one, actually, I guess it doesn't really have sheep. It does have sheep on one of the fabrics, and it's sheep wearing sweaters. But the other fabric is kitty cats yarn bombing trees.
It's so random.
Look at it.
The illustration definitely, it makes me think of
Winnie the Pooh.
something.
It makes me think of Winnie the Pooh.
I don't know about Winnie the Pooh, but it just makes me think of, like a storybook illustration.
Yeah. It's so adorable. I mean, it's got kitties, it's got yarn, it's got sheep wearing sweaters.
Yeah, I like the sheep wearing sweaters. Yeah. That's really cute.
What's not to love?
So cute.
It is so cute. So I just finished those guys, and there's more sheep. There's a flock of white sheep and some random black sheep with balls of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is really cute too. They're just different colored sheep.
Gray and
brown and white sheep.
I like this is the coordinating fabric on the bottom.
Yeah, it's supposed to, it looks kind of like chicken wire.
No, does it?
It's not, but it reminds me of chicken wire.
It's nice.
And some non-sheepy fabric. I bought this, it's a vintage sewing patterns.
Oh,
isn't that cute?
I like the graphic, the pop of colors, the teal and the pink.
Yep. And then the medium size, and I use the 100% linen for the contrast fabric. And the flap for the medium bag has sewing things on it. Buttons and thread. So this one's really cute. I do like this. So that's what I've been working on. Actually, they will be on the shop as we go live, and I have to take pictures of them. I've been waiting for a nice day to take pictures. It's been cloudy almost every day. So that's my shop update.
Very good.
Yep.
And now will we say goodbye?
Now you can do your spiel.
Okay. Our show notes are on our website, which is kcacypodcast.wordpress.com. Our Instagram is kcacypodcast. My personal one is Allison here. My mom's personal one is upstate_Viv. And you subscribe to us on iTunes or on YouTube or wherever else you get your audio podcasts, and like, comment, engage. And then you can also join our Ravelry group, Keep Calm and Carry On podcast. You just find that on the groups tab. And you can join in on the Colorwork KCAL if you've got anything. And whips are allowed, so even if it's like a last minute submission, that's all right. So thank you for listening.
And remember to keep calm and carry on.